So, Carolyn, tell me, how long have you been in Teammaker? Because I haven't seen you. Are you like fresh? Yes. Yeah, you're super fresh.
I
Because I
got a
haven't,
call. I got a
yeah.
call that said Kim Klaver, and I couldn't imagine her calling me, but I thought somebody is calling me from her office or something. And I answered, and what a thrill. What a day. I'm
Oh,
just so excited. And I've been doing some prep for this that I didn't realize what, why, and why. But yes, I really was. I was ready for her call and invitation, and it was so wonderful. I'm without power of words to express what it means to me. So
oh, I'm so pleased to have you here. It's just about, and
thank
you'll see because you're like me, you've done lots of stuff with Kim in the
you.
past, and you'll
Yeah,
just see once you start through and go through this team maker and how she set it all up, you're just going to love it.
thank you. Zeroing in on my baseline problem, this fear of money business has really, that's what's going to get the clearance. And because as far as loving to serve and loving to share and health that makes all the difference for me. That's no problem. But it's the wedding the two.
Yeah, yeah, and asking for the money.
Yeah. And even the way she handled me, of course, masterfully, it was all my choice. She was just sharing with me what y'all had. And then each step was fully my choice. And that way, learning to do it that way, then I don't have to be afraid because I'm not the one dealing with the money. It's the person who's wanting can benefit with what I have to share. They're the handling the money part.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's
yeah.
so great for me.
When I saw, oh, hey, Kim,
Hey, girl.
I'm good. I was just raving about seeing Carolyn here.
Yeah.
Because it's been such a long time. And when I saw your post yesterday in Teammaker titled How to Solve Sales Problems, I don't know if all of you've seen that one, but the process that you went through about the issues asking for money and how you masterfully helped Carolyn see how it doesn't have to be hard. It's always offering someone a solution to their problem. And if they're that keen to solve it, which by the time you get to that point, you'll know if they're that keen to solve it. They make the
Yeah.
choice as to what they come in with.
Go right ahead. Sometimes when people sell stuff who don't know how to sell, they think about themselves. It's about they're hung up
Right.
about money. But
Yeah.
sales, one of the hardest things to learn is that nobody really cares about you. Maybe a few people. We like to think we're God Almighty because we made $1 million, but nobody, what they think about is their problems. And if you make stuff separate from a normal person, they won't identify with you and figure you're the only one who can do that. And so you lose either way. No matter what you're doing wrong, you have a chance to lose stuff. One of the things that Carolyn and I talked about is when I called her up just to see how she was doing, we have a community that you might like to be part of. Would you be interested in something like that? Yes or no? That was my pitch.
And from then on,
Tell me about it, but you have to do the feeler first. And network marketers, they don't want to do that. They want to tell you all about the isotopes and they're going to talk about the DNA level and all the other crap. And they didn't had never even put a finger in the to see which way the wind's blowing. That's what advertising is. It's really putting your finger out there to say, like, used to run ads in the Wall Street Journal. I ran in sections where they had high level people like presidents of companies, because that's the only place I'd ever look. If I want a gig, I'd be the boss spot. I wasn't going to look for some schleppy job. So I put my ads there for those people. We were looking for the key man, not the cattle. Every ad I ever was looking for one key player, one. And that's how you get hundreds of people. It's not 10 opportunities or 5 opportunities, or making it look like a cattle call. The people you want to apply need to have that first thing. So when Carolyn said, I'd like to know what you're doing, I said, we're going to help you talk to people and put that out there and see if they even have an interest. Because then if they say, yeah, I want to get rid of this problem, I need more money, my health sucks, I got to get rid of my migraines, and I don't want to do drugs, then that is your market. Doesn't mean they're all going to buy, but that is the market of people that want to get rid of the problem or want the thing you have. So you don't talk anymore to anybody until those people raise their hand. And then it's now, what have you done so far? The diagnostic, which we've done for years. And by the time you ask your 4 diagnostic questions, you know whether or not they're going to do anything or not. And then you take them shopping. We don't send them to a website. You talk about the products, you may have a lot of products. A lot of people like to say, oh, and that's the X39. That is the Zoom 94Z. Nobody cares. That's the migraine headache, get migraine headache product. This is the anti-crinkle cream. Forget your labels. Forget the company's labels. Forget the ingredients. First, they want to know, does it work? Is it going to fix my problem? And then after that, maybe how it works. And until people get that in their mind, see, I guess maybe 20 years ago, you could talk about the science. It's not like it never worked, but it sure doesn't work today. Why? Everybody has science. Everybody has science, including the drugs that kill people. They have science too. So you're no better than they are. Look at the COVID. Look at the massive hullabaloo with all of that. They pretend that all that stuff was tested. Of course, now it's coming out that it wasn't tested. It was all a big ha-ha. But still, drugs that have the side effects where they have to give you the side effects have all been tested. They all are full of science. They're all full of everything that we want to sell people. Let me tell you about the drugs in here. It works at the cellular level. So did everything. We're made of cells. So there's nothing you put in you that won't have an effect on your cells. But if you're steeped in that teaching, you'll keep doing it. When you say 100 times, tell you what, I help people who have this problem or that problem. Like the lady yesterday, she said, I help people who have major migraines. I said, how old are you? Because I figured she got to be an older person. She's 28, same age as my niece. She's 28. She's had migraines for 9 years, massive migraines, right? And so now she finally found a product that helped her after 3 or 4 companies get rid of it. So I asked her, if that's all you did, you just got your next 10, 15 customers. What if you owned the niche? I help people get rid of, desperate to get rid of their migraines. That's why I help, without drugs. And out of every 100 people, there's probably 5 or 6 who either have it or know somebody. That is your market. You don't talk about what you've got to anyone else who's got this issue, looking to get rid of it. Remember, they don't have to just have the issue. They also have to be looking to get rid of it. They're actively looking and comparing. The closer you are to somebody who's actively looking to get rid of a problem, and they're now comparing products, the faster you're going to make a sale because they're ready to pop. That's how it works. But if you come with all your paraphernalia about, let me just set down the backpack and give you all this stuff, you didn't even hold up your finger to see in the wind which way the wind's blowing. So she said, yeah, if that's all I did, just get those people, I'd like to learn how to do that. So that's what we do in TeamMaker. The first month is really a lot of online, learning how to say, I help, who do you help? And the more narrow the scope is of the problem that you solve, the easier it is to find people. They all know who they are. So it's maybe you talk to 5 in 100, but those 5, 4 buy. And that's how we've done it. And that's how I've done it for 30 years. I never talk to anybody unless I know they have the problem and they want to solve it. That's why we have an 8 out of 10 closing rate. We close just about everybody. Why? Because I don't talk to, not because we overload them or we talk faster or louder or got more science, but because they really want that problem solved. And if I know we can solve it, I'm tell you this is what we're going to do right here. That I can assure you, if you do the thing, you'll fix the problem. Because it's true. So this thing with money, does anybody here have trouble talking to people about money when they say, how much is it? A lot of people have that. They'll say, I don't know. But if you put the money aside, just assume you got a problem with the money, that's okay. But you talk about first, how much do you want this fix? Is this something that you really want to do? When they say, yes, I want to get rid of this problem, or yes, I want, say we're in the blockchain market, right? If you want to make money, but you don't really want to do sales and you don't really want to do a job, but you want to find something to invest in instead of Tesla or Palantir or some of these other companies, you want something that has a moonshot upside, where the upside could be holy crapola 1,000 times in a year. Now, of course, that means you got downside. It can go the other way in a year, right? So you realize that you don't put in here anything that you're going to cry about if you lose it. So they go, yep. I told people when I signed them up for this, as you sign this, because there's a big disclaimer, I tell them one thing. Brooke knows because she bought one. You're putting your money down the rabbit hole. You'll probably never see it again. If your money to go down the rabbit hole, we hope not, but that's probably what's going to happen. That's what all the pages say. So check the box. If you aren't comfortable with that, don't do it. That's the way it is. You are throwing your money down the rabbit hole. Chances are very good it goes nowhere. Just like venture capitalists all over California. At Stanford, it's the first thing they teach you. You'll invest in 100 deals. 90 won't do anything, or 85, something like that. 2 or 3, you'll make your money back, maybe double it. And 1 will be a Facebook. 1 is an Uber. 1 is the one that goes up 100,000 times. 1 Bitcoin. How many people were there when it was $200 or $50? Now it is at 112,000. But you can't promise that. What you do is dangle the worst and the best. So that's the story. Can you handle either way? And then if so, we're doing it, and here's why we like it. And then when it comes to money, how much is it? Let me tell you how it comes. You can get the big package or the medium package or the little one. I never say the price of anything. Why should I? I could point to the page, say, look, here are the options, the annual, the 3 months. We did this yesterday. She just signed up, right, with the new stuff. And so I don't want to do the 117. That's like only a month. It's okay. But she's noticed that, you see. And so I want to do the annual. And I never have to say the prices. The customer decides, I want the year. See? And if you just let go of that and separate yourself, you never have to worry about the money, because it's not your decision to make. It's theirs. Sam Ovens is a guy I've known for about 10 years. He developed a school platform. It's an alternative to Facebook. Facebook is free, but also censors you and steals your data. And if you have 1 million people, they can take it away like this, right? So he set up a platform called School, which we have our TeamMaker program on. And they had a session the other day with Sam and a guy named Sam Hormozy. One of the things that they brought up is that the coaching business online and the launch business and the gurus, that business is disappearing really fast. There are people who make millions per year who are sending me emails about a $27 program. So you know they're having a hard time. It's just how it is. And the reason is, why would you take a course on how to write a sales page with 8 modules of 25 minutes each, no matter how good they are? If you can take that very sales page that they use to try to sell you, which is what I do now, and lay the whole thing into my AI, my Ask Vera, and say, okay, soup this up for here's what I'm selling. And it's not to save the money. I want to help the people who have developed skills. I honor people with skills because they're hard to come by. I'm one of them. So I honor the work I've done. Believe me, and I get ripped off all the time, but it doesn't change my feeling of honor for people that have been through the process, learned how to do it from the mistakes and adjust. But if I can take a beautiful sales page that's going to sell me 8 modules, and I can take the whole thing and put it into one of my AIs that I've programmed and say, okay, make me a sales page for this thing using this format, this formula, these structures, it will do it in about 15 minutes. So not only do I save the money, although that's less important to me now anymore than the time. Right? Carolyn, you didn't know that. You haven't been in the loop lately, honey. You're going to wake up and see what's going on. This is why the coaching business is really very scary. And the agency business, how to write ads. AI can beat everybody. So everybody looks exactly alike. And unless you know how to feed it information, that is very specific about your story or story of people that you know, your case studies, you won't have anything to talk about because 100 people can do it better. They say duplication in network marketing. All of you know that I never have believed in duplication of results. There are no duplication of results. You can do duplication of the structure, get 3 across, put as many people in the circles. But the way you do it is up to you. If you're charismatic and good looking, say Wally, you're going to have an easier time than if you're really a big blurb and ugly and you can't talk to people. No matter what the circles are, you got to put the people in. You see what I mean? So with the duplication of where people are copying content and messages and here, copy this, and you know how that apply will say here, copy that, and everybody copies these lame things. AI can do that 1,000 times per second. There's nobody who's going to have an identity if that's all they can do. So you have to stop talking about the products and the technology because everybody has that. That's the common denominator, and talk about the problems you've been able to solve. If you want to connect with people who want to spend money solving their problem or getting something they want that they don't have. So with Carolyn, just put the finger up first. Look, we got this community. Here's what we're doing. Is it something sound like something that you want to be part of? Yes or no? That is it. Oh, Alex and Sam Ovens, when they were talking, they were commenting about how the business of people trying to market online is much more difficult now with AI. And they said, yep, because the stages online of making a lot of money with courses and information, the kind of stuff that all of us do. What's network marketing except education, right? About anything that you're doing. What you have to do is there's a discovery stage, and that's holding your finger in the air to see which way the wind is blowing. And then there's the connect with the person about their story and how you can help them. They call it discovery. Listen, I got this business and it's probably not for you. It helps people who are having trouble with, can't sleep at night because they wake up and go pee and they can't go back to sleep. And they're beginning to look really horrible and old and haggard and all that. And that's what my business, we look for people like that. Do you know anybody like that who might like to know about that? Not me, your Uncle Harry. He's been complaining, but he has to go pee and then he can't go back to sleep. You see how it is problem-based. So that one person is a possible market for you. They don't know the name of your company. They don't know the name of your product. They don't know anything except you got somebody who has this problem and was able to solve it without drugs. That's pretty much all of our markets, people who want to have solutions without drugs. So that's what they call it now, discovery. So see what happens. Yeah. So anyway, that's my 2 cents about that. It's a very interesting thing that we're going to have something coming up in month 2, which is the first month is how I help you and monitor yourself. The first month that all of you are doing anything, you have to monitor what you're doing, track what you're doing every day. How many reach outs did you do? How many people did you talk to? That's why we have you fill in those forms at the end of every day, because if you don't measure it, you won't do it. You totally forgot you even were in the business half the time, right? Oh, yeah, I guess I was supposed to call 2 people. I didn't call anybody. But if every day you have that marker, that's what that's for. And then you learn who you help, right? So you learn the diagnostic questions so that you don't jump in the back seat with them on the first date. Ask these questions. So you see if they really are for real ready and take them shopping. So we have all those kinds of things. And then we have stuff that shows a person, for example, how to create interest on a place like Facebook, where a person says, I have a thing. Did I really say that? And that's one of the things we get most common. People will say, so what do you do? And they'll say, I'm a Shackley rep. Dr. Shackley was the first one. And they go, oh, they're done. And often people that have been in any of my classes will say that or type it. And then they'll look at it and go, oh, God, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I did that. That I talked like a label. You speak labelese, right? Give it a name. You talk like a label, man. And so what we're going to do in month 2, we have 2 really fun things planned. But one of them is that in order to Tony Robbins says something called several levels of competence. First, there's you're incompetent. You don't know jack. Okay, so we got that part. And then you become consciously competent. And all of us that have ever learned any classes from anybody, no matter who the gurus are, You go from not really knowing anything to becoming consciously competent. You know what it is. If it's like in sparring class when you get to the different belts, they tell you, okay, we're going to spar now. So you get in position. If you're attacked in the night in an alley, nobody's going to say, are you ready to spar? I'm going to get in position. You're going to get a hit and you're not going to think about it. And you're going to have to react reflexively. And in order to be able for you to react reflexively, they have something called muscle memory. And so you have to rewire your muscles so that hundreds of times every day, you practice the other reaction so that when somebody taps you on the shoulder at night and it's in an alley, your reaction is like Bruce Lee. They're out like a light and you haven't even turned around. But that takes what they call muscle memory. Well, we've discovered there's something like that. It's called verbal muscle memory. And if you don't repeat hundreds of times, what do you do? Let me tell you what happened to me. I help people who yada yada. What's the product? Let me tell you what happened to me. All the things that you do to focus on the story. If you don't do that, when somebody says, what do you do? You'll talk like that girl who says, I'm a Shackley rep, or I'm a hoo-ha rep, or such and such a rep, and we have DNA breakthrough, right? And then they stop. Because what is in her head is the old stuff that's been in there for years that they teach everybody. And so we're going to have something, I think it's 21 days. Tony Robbins says 21 days, where for 15 minutes a day, it's going to feed you. What do you do? What's the product? So that you learn to develop your verbal muscle memory so that whether it's day or night, you're drunk or sober, you will say the thing that will engage the person instead of turn them off. In the same way that you practice repetitions in the dojo to get your black belt. Or you practice on the tennis court, you do shots of backhand, hundreds of shots of forehand, and then pretty soon you're in all these positions. So you can exactly spot where the ball is going to go. If you've had good tennis teachers, you know this, you're going to spot it. And you do it over and over until you're nauseous. And then you do it some more. Why? So that at the moment of truth, the reflex is the right one, not the wrong one. No one's ever thought about that for language, for engagement. And so we're going to have that because that's one of the things that we figured out is the reason so many people get no results from coaching. It isn't that the coaches are bad. It isn't necessarily that the students don't do anything. There are some who don't, but they're the fringe, and the bad teachers are the fringe. Let's assume good teachers, good students who are trying. They never have a place for repetition. None. You do one role play and that's it. If you've got 900,000 repetitions in your mind of talking technobabble, when the moment of truth comes at Thanksgiving dinner table, you're going to be yakking technobabble and wonder why everybody's eyes are rolled. Nobody cares, right? That's the issue. So we're going to have 21 days. I think we're for that 15 minutes. You're going to rattle off like a tennis ball machine. Bum, 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 bum. It's going to give you the prompts and you have to answer with who you help, with what you do, with what your product does in such a way that an 8-year-old could understand it and go, that sounds pretty cool. Wouldn't that be fun? And then you will develop a new muscle memory. Verbal muscle memory is what will help you develop here. I don't think there's anyone who's got a word dojo in the world because we forget that the person has to repeat that, do reps in order to say it at the right time, at the right moment. Otherwise, you don't do it. Most marketers don't talk to anybody. If I ask any of you guys, how many people did you talk to today about your business? Do I want to know? I don't know if I want to know the answer here. Right? No, not today. So if you talk to somebody once a week, what do you think your reflex verbal muscle is going to do for you? Whatever crap came out last time. Right? So that's why we figured we'll do this and see what happens. All right. This is supposed to be Q&A, so ask me a question. We have a lot of ways to talk to people. There are ways to talk on Facebook with FaceTime. There's phones. There's tap rooting. We're going to do a lot of that. Somebody said, I don't have anybody to talk to. So join the club. Nobody has anybody to talk to. And then somebody else said, oh, but they don't answer the phone. Let me tell you who answers the phone all the time. The only people you probably want, realtors, insurance people, anybody who's already in business. That's who we know how to call. You think a realtor is not going to answer the phone? Are you nuts? And a network marketing type business or any business where people are buying product on a regular basis takes those lumps out the highs and lows, which every realtor, and I having been a broker for a long time in the high-end commercial market, we know that already. Do you make $100,000 1 month and next 2 months you don't? You make $3. So it's a way of evening out your income. So yeah, those are the kind of people you want to go after. And then taprooting, going to their people. If you tell them what you're going to say, I have never not gotten a list of everybody that I want that they might know. Their realtor, their roofer, anybody that they think is half crazy because they like doing stuff. Anybody with crazy ideas, that's the kind of people we want. I don't want to do therapy. I'm just not in the therapy business. They don't pay you anyway. Okay, cool. Any questions? So that's what's coming up. Yeah, in this month. We're starting the lessons here in the next couple of days or so. Yeah,
Awesome. Look like Tony, you've got a question. Go for it.
go, girl.
I'm struggling with my Facebook cover image.
Okay.
Because
I knew you were going to say this.
yeah, Brooke and Callie have both given me really solid, this comprehensive feedback saying, no, people don't want to know any of my credibility. They just want to know how I help. But I still feel that, especially because I get a lot of my prospects by speaking at business events and as a speaker and a TED speaker, I think that there's some value in my credibility being on the banner straight up. I'm not stuck on it. I'm just struggling to take it off. And I know this is probably all part of my childhood traumas and things, but I'm struggling with losing some of that significance and stepping down. Because
I don't think you have to lose that. No, I would use it. I'm a Harvard graduate. Probably 3 people in the world know it. And those people that have worked for me for 20 years, I never bring it up. Do I lead with it? No. I also went to Stanford and MIT. So I'm like an overeducated person. People used to say, how could you be from Harvard? How could you even be involved in this industry? And I thought, what's wrong with the industry? It's for lower end people. I'm in it, so it can't be that bad. I never thought about it again. What do I care what they think? I like it. Right now, in your case, and so what you could do with your credentials is I would have them as a backup. Because if you say to somebody, okay, if you are looking to make some money and you want the chance to make obscene income from something you put money in, so let's say you like a crypto type crazy return, right? I might have something for you. That's all. Let me know if you'd like to see it. That is your discovery, right? Put the feeler out, see if somebody, that's all you're doing. And then if somebody says, who are you? They'll do that all by themselves. You don't need to tell them, let me tell you who I am. They'll ask if you make a big claim that has the downside built in. If you'd like to make moonshot money and you're ready to take a hit on the other side, but something that's moonshot returns, let me know and I'll show you what we've got. Let's say, and that's all you post. Nothing more. No disclaimers, just what I just gave you, because it's totally legally fine. It's got so many hiccups in there. We know what to say because you're not going to pull one over on anybody. So they're going to go, so what do you know about it? In your Facebook, you can have a video, a link to a video that's your TED Talk. And I would call it Tony's TED Talk, but not front and center, but off the center. You make your big, bold, crazy statement in the post, and then your credential, Tony's TED Talk, right there. That's it. You have instant credibility.
the kind of post that you're speaking of now, should I put something like that in the Facebook cover?
Yeah. Because you know the returns you're getting. Yeah. If you're sick of, that's how we sold the blockchain. And I bought into this thing with that gives these daily rewards. And of course, I knew very well from the days of the venture capital firms that very few of them are going to, probably all of them are going to tank, but maybe one. And one did. I pulled money out regularly. Whenever I need any, I just pull it right out. It's like it's right there. It's like I change it. I go to the exchanges. I do off-Broadway. I'm very good at that. I like off-Broadway. They're called decentralized exchanges, just like off-Broadway instead of on-Broadway. And you get the stuff nobody dares to buy because they're all chicken. They want to wait until it's $10. I like to buy it at 1/100 of a cent. And then I'm happy when it hits $10, but I know it might not go anywhere. So I would put that post. If you want obscene returns, and of course, you know what the risks are, let me know. I'll show you something that we've been doing that has gotten obscene returns. Right? And that's it. You just say it in such a way that it's not a promise. And then on the side, you've got Tony's TED Talk. That's all you need to do. It's like a doctor. There's a lady who is an MD, and she said, when my kid gets a cold, here's what I do. And I'm an MD. How many moms do you think are going to do whatever she said she did? Look at Dr. What's his name? Not Dr. Dingaling. Who is the guy with the gray hair and the glasses? And he's talking about things like, he's always on Facebook. If you want to make sure that your butt doesn't sag to the floor or that you don't drop dead of some horrible disease, never put this in your oatmeal. Dr. Gundry, Gundry. Never put this in your oatmeal. And people go, and I'm an MD, right? Dr. Gundry. So it's this big thing to claim. If you don't want this to happen, you're going to never be able to get it up again, then don't ever put this in your oatmeal. Or if you eat blueberries, make sure you never eat this kind. Dr. Gundry, 30-year veteran, internal medicine man, blah, blah, blah. So everybody goes. So that's the way you do it. I got the hoo-ha, crazy, wild thing. And that's it, in case you want to see what we did. It's always not what you can do, what we did. Every claim, you can only talk about what happened to you. This is how you stay away from the federal, the FTC. You can't say you can or you might. No, this is what happened to me. So who knows? What if? And then your little TED Talk is off to the side. That is the Dr. Gundry approach. We got two. Don't do this one thing if you don't want your whole life to fall apart. And then he's Dr. Gundry with his medical credentials. That's how you do that. You need to stay with network marketing. The big fatal flaw that most network marketers make. So they go, yeah, so what? From somebody who's been doing it 30 years and went to the top of 6 different companies. Then somebody's going to go, oh, all right, let me see what she's got. But the statement, the impact comes first. And your credentials are off because people who want to know that will immediately start looking, who is this person? And you have it right there on your Facebook. So you got TED Talks, man. I got to get a TED Talk. I haven't done that yet. By all means. So this should not be a talk about the mechanics that are bore people to tears. But even if they didn't look at it, if they saw Tony's TED Talk, it'd be a great name, Tony's TED Talk. They'll know that you got something on the ball because you would not have had a chance to have a TED Talk. So I would promote that, but always in second place. And all those who are looking, they want to know, are you real? They'll find it without you saying a word. Got it?
So for example, now, if I may, the TED Talk is on my Facebook, but no one would see it. It's so buried down. So I should regularly just repost it.
Yeah, I would put something in your Facebook. Don't you have a Facebook banner or something like that?
Yeah, that's really what I'm speaking to you about, the banner.
But you have posts as well. And the banner, do you want to promote the TED Talk as the place where you talk about how the thing works? No. The TED Talk is just so they know that you're not somebody who just woke up last night, right? What's the topic of the TED Talk?
It's about how to grow your business.
Oh, wow. Do you have a link to it and all that?
Yes.
What I would do is go to Ask Vera, and you have the ChatGPT, don't you?
Yes.
The one for $20?
Yeah, and I've been training it in my voice for about 9 months.
Okay. You can go to Ask Vera and say, please help me come up with 5 or 10 different Facebook profile headlines.
Mhm.
And what I'm marketing is, I presume you're doing your blockchain stuff, right? And
The minting.
I wouldn't talk about the blockchain stuff. It's moonshot returns that sometimes happen. That's really what your angle is. You don't want to talk about what it is. If you talk about what it is, it's like opening the kimono too soon. People go, oh, okay. So you want to talk about ask it to give you some options for how to offer a really moonshot crazy return that seems impossible that you've been getting That's what you want. And then you're going to have a link on the side that says Tony's TED Talk, but without making it look like that's what it's about. That's what I would do.
Right. Because
Me too.
on my banner now, I've got major media logos where I've been featured, plus the TED logo. Then a photo of me getting an award as an international best-selling author. And I thought all of that added credibility.
You can, but I wouldn't put it front and center. Don't put it front and center because you could test it. We've tested so many things. But if you put your best-selling author thing up there, it gives you credibility. But the thing that is on the other side is that people don't identify with you and become less approachable. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you're
do.
so far up there, nobody's ever going to. So I would rather say, I never thought I could make obscene income doing very little. But now I found some. I don't even know if I'd put it in the banner, but on your Facebook profile. Brooke, isn't there a place on your profile where you can have pictures and images and stuff that's
Yeah.
not right in the main profile where the text areas are, where you
Yeah.
could put, in fact, I would make that two things. Your book author, that would be one. Your TED Talk would be another. All the things that you've done. But that isn't what you sell. What you sell is crazy high returns you never thought could happen. And if you'd like to know what I'm doing, ask me and I'll tell you. But the other things are on the side. They're secondary. Satisfy a person that you're not full of it. I wouldn't lead with it. What you want to lead with is something that's exciting to a person who's thought, who hasn't heard about somebody that bought Bitcoin at $20 or $200? There's nobody that hasn't heard of somebody like that. Of course, they
Yeah.
sold it. If you bought 100 of them for $200 in 2000, and you have 100 of them now and they're worth 115 each, that's crazy money. Here's what happened to me. Ask me and I'll tell you my story. Nothing else. So you look like a normal mensch. And then on the side, you have this other stuff. I can't tell you how many people have come over the years and said, I've read all your books, I've done all your stuff. I didn't know you were a student of Noam Chomsky's. It cements in the fact that I didn't fall off the boat yesterday, although I came off a boat as a kid from Holland. So I would leave it because people, when you make a bold statement, not a premise, like what I just said here in the video, people will go, yeah, but they can't help but feel tingling excitement about the possibility. And then they're going to look at your page to see, all right, let me see if this is even credible. And then they see her TED Talk, and you're this, and your book, and you're this, and you're that. And they're going to ask, then, tell me what you got. That is the order in which humans today do things. No one can be taken at their word. It might be an AI. By all means, strut your stuff. You have to see a crazy return that we're getting. Are we good?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's like I said, it's the order of things. It's not should you do it or not. It's the order. Something crazy first, and then, oh my God, look, she's got all these books. People are very worried about how to spend their limited time. All humans are elimination machines. Is this worth it? Is this worth it? It's probably full of crap. She's probably full of, he's full of crap. And that's everybody, because there is so much that's not even real. The people aren't even real. And then they see all your stuff and they go, oh, look, she got a book. She got this. Oh, she got that. But the first thing that attracts humans is something that they can't resist, like incredibly crazy returns. If you do this one thing with your oatmeal, you will surely die or lose your left boob or you'll never, whatever. And then Dr. MD, what's his name?
Boundary.
Yeah. So just remember what initially is never what you end up with. Shiny objects sell for a reason. They're shiny. We like shiny as humans. So you can do shiny, but just talk about you and be very careful that you don't cross the line between BSing somebody. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much, Kim.
Credentials are a good thing. And these achievements are a good thing because it shows you know how to learn and that you know how to do things over and over until you get it right. There is no other way to progress as far as I know. Think how many times you have to do it to get it right. Elon's rockets, how many crashed? Yeah. But the key is something exciting first. And that can be something as simple as a problem, the migraines. I have good news. I've hired a guy to look at your tracker stories. And because you've been filling in these little forms, right? And to have the AI put together little stories from your beginning as you're going along. And some of them are very interesting because you write cool stuff about, oh, this sucks and I didn't want to do it, but then I did this. And each day, I think I told some of you guys, if you want us to help you write a little memoir of your journeys, which you can use to promote, to bring people into your business. Because they'll think, oh, yeah, you're just a natural. Well, here, let me show you what really happened. It'll be the best recruiting tool I can think of that you could have. Because people just want to be with somebody that's not going to judge them and just show them what to do and say, look, here's how we can do it better. And you solve problems. You make money solving people's problems. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
So good. So
Anyway,
good.
yeah. So I'll be posting some of those privately without names so that you guys can see if you like them. And then for the ones that we have, we can put little pieces together. My story so far. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're going to
good.
just start doing that, Carolyn, with your first day there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sheila,
These forms. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sheila, you've got a question? Oh, you're muted.
Sheila. Yes, lady. Go ahead.
There you go.
Okay. It's not so much a question, it's an admission. But I just wanted to share it because it's funny you've just talked now about the journey. Because when you put up what month 2 was going to be about, I read it and I had the biggest strop you have ever heard. I was ranting and raving. I wrote the most awful email to me, which I never said, because I thought, I did not join this to learn how to bloody talk. I learned this, how to use the Facebook algorithm that you were talking about to set up a Facebook profile that's what this was supposed to be about. I wasn't expecting to have to use my mouse. I wasn't expecting to have to talk. And I then slept on it, and we've had 4 or 5 days, and I've continued to sleep on it, and I've continued to listen. And I think at some point you said something about it's no good getting prospects if you don't know what to say to them. And I thought, that's so right. I'm learning how to get the prospects, but actually, I haven't actually talked to anybody about it to any great extent. And so gradually, I'm coming round. But just in case there's anybody else out there who had the same reaction, I just thought it was worth saying.
Can you please send me the email? No, trust me, I have a very thick skin after years and years of being a nurse. There's not much that can penetrate my
I'm
skin.
laughing at it now. I really was so cross.
That's why I want to read it.
So I just thought it was worth saying because I might not be the only one who had that same reaction.
And you're right. Usually if someone has some kind of reaction to something, there's always other people who have the same. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was thinking, we take them shopping. I'm very comfortable with that and all the rest of it. But actually, there's a lot in between. And this is not just learning how to do one particular thing. This is learning the whole process. My speech does tend to get a bit sort of stuttery and stammery. So yeah, it'd be good for me to practice. I'm really looking forward to practicing and to seeing how it works.
Also,
in all
Jane-
language
oh, sorry.
labs where they give you "Como se va?" and you have to say "Salani," whatever it is. Those language labs were constant repetitions. Why? Because if you go to France and you're immersed in it, or you go to whatever the country is, you hear it all day and you have to speak it unless you're dumb enough to bring somebody who speaks your native language. And then, of course, you'll be a chicken. You'll never learn it. But there's always a big gap between what you can understand and what you can produce. That's true even in a person who's monolingual, who can only speak one language. There's a lot more words that you understand than what you can actually use and say when you come back to America. Or if you want to learn how to say the correct accent, it's fast-paced repetition. 21 days, 10 to 15 minutes each day. The studies are marvelous about it until it becomes a reflex. Drunk or sober, day or night, somebody says, what do? You say, I have this business that helps people who always wanted to have some moonshot money working for them. They had no idea what to do. So I help people like that who want to find those moonshot things because they got a little money to spend. There are people who have no money to spend.
The daft thing is that I was in Toastmasters for 10 years. And in Toastmasters, that's all about every other week, getting together, getting on your feet and actually speaking in front of people, which is so different from thinking about speaking or writing speeches, but actually standing up and speaking. So yeah, I have done it. It's just,
And people do it with foreign languages where you just
Yes.
repeat ad nauseum over and
Yeah.
over, but for short periods, like a tennis ball machine, pop, hit, just one after the other, hundreds of repetitions until it becomes the thing that you say instead of what's in your head right now. The same with writing, by the way. What people have in their muscle memory for their verbal stuff in sales, especially the people trained in our network marketing industry, is, I don't know that anybody has it any worse. Maybe affiliate marketers. But in part, the whole industry's been taught it's easy. Anyone can do it. All you have to do is talk to people. This is false. You're talking to people for money. That is not the same as talking to people about the weather and hemorrhoids. Ask Carolyn. That's why nobody can ask for the money, because they're not trained. They sweep it under the rug, and then they blame you for not knowing what to do. There is a special language for people. There's a reason I can make a lot of sales, because I know the lingo and the psychology of it, and I've separated myself from the price. It doesn't matter to me what the thing costs. Either you have the problem badly enough and you want to fix it, or you don't. That's the bottom line. Do you want to fix it or don't you? Do you want to have a chance at a moonshot or don't you? Do you want to have a chance at something where you could actually make money without working? Yes or no? And you told me, Sheila, yes. And so you put some crazy money into something crazy. And now it's doing just fine. And pretty soon you
That's it.
money. Yeah, man, it's like pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's it.
I keep putting it, whenever I've got a little bit of money, I keep putting it in.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be doing that if I wasn't happy.
And it's there. But you're always putting out that sign for, I'm looking for, this is what happened to me. I'm looking for something like this. And you frame it in such a way that it's the appeal that it was to you. And that's what we learned to do in 90 days. It's pretty quick. Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
But just letting you know that we do have that other call on in 3 minutes
Okay.
time.
So we'll be ready. Are you guys all set? Did you all get some good questions? And are you feeling, Leslie? I see you there, honey. Don't think I don't see you. I do. I want to know, are you on at least day 3? Huh? Are you at least on day 3?
I'm gonna get it.
You're going to get it. That's where the money is, day 3. You have to do day 1 so you name your business, and day 2 so you set up your tracking. Otherwise, you're not going to do anything. But on the 3rd day, who you help, once you have that, are you going with the dot business? Is that the one you're going to be focused on, or something else? No matter what you do, we'll help you. You know that.
Yeah,
Appreciate-
absolutely.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because you look really good. There aren't very many guys your age that look as good as you do. If you want to look really good, check this out. And then there's your body looking good. Man, if I were a guy, I'd want to know what the hell you're doing.
You're too
I'd wear
kind.
anything you wore just to do it. Because you're a specimen. All right. It's like Dr. Heidi says, she's 80 and she looks 40. Anybody in their right mind looks at her and goes, yeah, she's 40, 45, and she's not. But she knows how to eat. She knows how to breathe, and she knows how to use dots. And so you don't need, if you are an example of the thing that others want, you're home free. Everybody wants the outcome you've already achieved. So you can sell the path that got you there. You got it?
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't underestimate how good you already are and how good you look and what you've achieved. Don't do that.
Y'all making me blessed.
Well, looks
Good.
like me right here. Let me tell you what we
Good.
did. Right.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, we do have another call. So we're going to jump off. And
Yeah.
Carolyn, welcome to the group. Delighted to have you. And I'll tell you about that thing at some point. It's pretty crazy, but I'll let you know. First of all, let's get you making some money, because you got some hot products there that are doing wonderful things for people's skin, as I know. And there are people in our group who need help with that. Get your story ready, because one of the things we're going to do is have a day where people can post their stories about who they help with the problem is to all the people within TeamMaker, and then we'll take the best ones and put them on the school platform. There are thousands of people there that are entrepreneurs. Most of them can't go number 2. Most of them have crappy skin. They're all bros. What are these boys that are sitting there on their butt coding all day, never moving? getting bigger and bigger. We can help a lot of them because we're in the crazy investment stuff where you don't want to work forever.